Morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome to a very special Power Talk with a very special person, Anjini Prakash Laitu. He's a renowned artist in the UAE, and we are so honored and humbled to host you today at the Power of Pages Book Club, Anjini ji.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I want to tell you all a little bit more about Anjani ji. At 84, he has been part of over 250 art exhibitions. He's a master of abstract art. He also enjoys painting on textiles. You can see that he truly embodies the spirit of an artist. He's always beautifully attired in hand-painted clothes, shoes, and even belts. Interestingly, he started his career post-retirement at the age of 60 when he went back to study at the Sharjah Art Institute. For 3 years, he did a course there. And since then, there's been no looking back. He's been painting. He loves enjoying rainbow of colors. He loves to paint on. And you can see that on all his canvases. He's also part of several exhibitions. He's invited as a special guest. Today also, he's here, invited as a special guest. He's been exhibiting at the World Art Dubai for almost eight times. So, Anjani ji, we can't wait to hear your stories and rewind back and listen to your art journey. I want to take you back to your childhood, and I want to ask you that I know that you grew up in Mathura in India, and your mother Krishna Laitu was an avid reader, and your siblings are also journalists and writers. So, what was their environment in your home?
My father was electrical engineer, and he electrified bridge area, Mathura Vrindavan area.
Mm-hmm.
So he electrified that area. Earlier there was some lamp post in Mathura Vrindavan, and I got education, primary education in Vrindavan in municipality college, and my mother was a teacher throughout.
Mm-hmm.
She was teaching in convent schools. Although those times she was intermediate, but level of education or something like that was that high,
Mm-hmm.
that she was supposed to be one of the most learned person I have met.
When did you first realize that you liked painting and you were fascinated by colors?
Actually, I was fascinated by colors right from the beginning, not from my uh, when I got education, started school, but right from the beginning, I was fascinated by colors. And Holi was my favorite festival. And Vrindavan, I enjoyed Holi, and from there, probably the love for colors dominated more in my life.
Okay, wow. And I know that in 1950 you wanted to study at Shanti Niketan, like you
Yeah.
just said, but your parents were opposing it. So, was that a setback for you, and how did you plan your career life after that?
After my graduation, no, after my intermediate, I wanted to go to Shanti Niketan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it entered in my mind, because those days neither uh, TV was there that somebody could know what is the Shanti Niketan.
Yes.
Somewhere I have read, but I had a mind that I must go, but my parents didn't agree. They said art line is not a good career.
Mm-hmm. So, was that tough for you to decide to go for corporate life?
It was difficult for me, but childhood it was childhood type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when the parents, those days the parents used to guide, and then the children used to understand.
Yes.
Time was different.
Yes, true. So, but I know that all throughout your corporate life, you also try to keep your art alive. You always
Yeah,
were
I
painting.
kept my painting hobby as a hobby,
Mhm.
and even my college days I've been painting. I won some small prizes in when I was in Agla College, Agra. And in those in universities there were art festivals,
Mhm.
uh, and universities used to do one annual something like that. I don't remember, but in those exhibitions also I won some awards, and that kept me engaged in activities.
And
And
all throughout your corporate life, even when you were working in job, also you were
yeah,
doing. Just tell us a little about how.
after that, after graduation, I joined paper industries
Mhm.
as an apprentice, where I studied for 3 years paper making and pulp making. And in that period, I kept my painting alive. I was studying that in paper technology, but I was keeping my hobby
Hmm.
at this hobby also.
And I know that you used to always paint saris, and your
Uh,
wife is also very fond of wearing.
textile was became because my hobby. It was uh, canvas was very difficult to paint those days. They were only imported canvases are available. So which we could not afford. Normal people could not afford. Even that paints used to be very expensive. Camlin and Fabrical Indian paint, they came much later. And I remember some Winston and Newton company used to give some colors, import some colors. And they were beyond our reach.
Okay.
As a beginner, I used to buy some cloth, frame it on a wooden frame, and prime it with local gum. It was known as saris those days. And I will boil saris in water and then put some whitening agent in that and then coat it with on that cloth
And what
to
colors you used
make
to
it a
use?
canvas. And the colors were not available, so just for fun sake, we'll use haldi and holy colors. And these dry, those I used to mix with the gum and then apply your canvas.
So that is also a message for young artists that you can also use very normal things at home to create art. You need
But
not.
these days, what I find, people have become more crazy about quality of paint and canvas than their art.
So you can create art with simple things also.
Yeah,
It's your
anything,
creativity actually.
anything. You can create, and actually, we are doing whatever we are doing in our life. It is all art.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Sitting is art, eating is art.
Okay. So in 2001, you retired from the Al Tajid glass industries in Dubai, and instead of leading a retired life, you went back to college. You like to study fine arts at the Sharjah Art Institute, and how was that experience of going back to study in a class with youngsters?
Going to college after retirement is real fun. Mm.
And you were 60 at that time.
Yes, I retired at 60, and college experience was wonderful.
Okay.
Particularly, you get a different feeling when you are a student in a college. After, like me, your professor don't treat you as a student. They treat you something like a friend.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Tell us how they used to react to you coming in class and.
No, it was very casual. Just walk in, and whenever you want to go out, you can go out.
Okay. And but you tried to study in a proper way, the art again. How was your course like?
It was not a very serious type of learning because whatever I was doing, I was confident that I'm doing all right.
Okay, okay,
It was only for acquiring a stamp on me that I'm a qualified painter.
okay.
Sometimes probably my work was better, I would not say, but sometimes my work was better than the teachers.
Of course, you had experience, and today, like, what is your creative process like? Do you have a theme, or do you have an idea before you go to start painting? I know that you always almost paint for 6 hours at times.
Yeah, every day I spend nearly 4 to 6 hours, even today. And it is sometimes on textile and sometimes on canvases. I work in the night after 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock every day, and a few hours in the day.
So, what is your creative process like? Do you have an idea, or before you come to your canvas and colors, or?
No, I don't. People say they plan a lot of things up before painting, but I sit on a canvas, I throw color on it, and then the colors they guide me what I have to do.
So it's your intuition kind
Yes,
of a
yes.
thing.
Actually, everybody, even me, not only me, any artist, even you or you or you, if you want to paint, your inner mind will tell you what is going next. If you are putting yellow, the canvas will tell you that it needs some black or it needs some red. So they will guide. Canvas will guide you. It requires a little practice.
Okay. I know that you were a fan of the legendary M.F. Hussein. So tell us a little about your encounter with him. And
Yeah, M.F. Hussain. When I was child, right from that time, I was reading those days magazines like Dharmyug or Hindustan, if you remember. Those two Hindi magazines and one illustrated weekly used to be there. So three magazines used to come in the house, and they were the only source of interest for painting or poetry. So you could read because no TV, no other communication. Only those three papers were there from where you can learn what is happening in the world. So reading M.F. Hussein's painting used to come in Illustrated Weekly also and Dharmik also. And from there I used to take cuttings from them and try to enlarge them and put them on canvas.
Okay. Oh, wow. And then you met him also. Tell us about that. Yeah. Did you meet him once, I think?
Yeah. I was working with Thappers those days. I was in Haryana, posted in Haryana, Jamnanagar. And Delhi was nearly 180 kilometers from there.
Okay.
So those days my salary was 220.
Oh, really?
But fare from Jamnanagar to Delhi was 2.5 Indian rupees.
Acha. Okay.
₹2.5 लगता था. And so and my Masi used to live in Delhi.
Okay.
So I used to, some weekend I will take 1 day additional leave and go to Delhi, spend 5-10 rupees.
Okay.
Only 10 rupees I will be spending for going to Delhi, coming back. And in that period, I will try to meet Hussein. Hussein used to sit in one coffee house in Connaught Place in tent. And the system was that anybody coming to meet Hussein, he used to pay for the coffee.
Okay. Hussein's coffee.
Yeah.
Hussein's coffee.
So we used to go as a student to sit with him,
of course,
learn with him. And later I met him in Sharjah also.
Okay.
Where he guided me some things which remained my position. He always tells me your signature should be very bold, and you should have used black definitely in every painting.
Okay.
So you will find even today all my paintings have black definitely in that, and my signature has become much bigger than the people generally know.
Okay. So that's inspired by him.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your message to budding artists?
Budding artists, I would say, still, as my mother used to tell me, it is not a good career.
Okay.
It is to be good. Keep it as a hobby.
Okay.
Because even if you want to paint, to reach a level where you can make a livelihood also out of it, takes a lot of time. And even if the time may not come, even in the working for 40 years, the time may not come.
Okay.
So many good artists I have seen is starving. So it's not a good line. Like I have done in my life, that had been a good choice, which my parents advised me, and I paid for it. That I worked happily. I worked in corporate offices and lived a very happy life throughout. And then, after retirement, I'm enjoying.
Okay. And I also want to ask you that what's your any tips for people who are nearing retirement? What would you like to say to them?
For retirement, the best part is, firstly, money is very important.
Okay.
So right from the beginning, you should save enough money for your old age, so that you are not dependent. And you should be aware of keeping good health, some good hobby, and love for people.
So hello, today is an amazing day at the Power of Pages Book Club. We had an interesting talk with a renowned artist in the UAE, Anjini Prakash Laitu. We also had a fabric workshop with him, and all of us are thrilled that we were able to host him today.